One Zambia, one nation. Thanks for joining us on Zanis News. My name is Chisha Mutali. The headlines. Distribution of fertilizer starts in Mongo. Over 100 people undergo site restoration. And Chamber lawmaker bemoans vandalism on development projects. And now the news in detail. The distribution of fertilizer under the Farmer Input Support Program FISIP has started in Western Province. Provincial Minister Kapelo Mbangweta, who flagged off the distribution exercise, says the far-flung districts will be the first to be reached. More in this report.
Government has commenced the distribution of farming inputs in the 2022-2023 farming season. The yearly exercise is expected to benefit small-scale farmers to enhance improved productivity and national nutritional security. Provincial Minister Kapelo Mbangweta says the increased numbers of farmer beneficiaries in the province will relate to increase in productivity.
We were quite happy because for the first time, Western Province was among the provinces that was to receive fertilizers ahead of the others, to increase the numbers of beneficiaries by slightly over 10,000. That is a very big achievement because also productivity will be increased in similar fashion.
Provincial Agriculture Coordinator Derek Simkanzie says the farmers in the province can now commence the payment of the 400 kwacha towards the inputs.
But now that the inputs are in the province, as a ministry, we should be able to open the deposits for the farmers to contribute the 400 kwacha. The 400 kwacha has remained the same. We have not adjusted. So the farmers in the province, all the 37,684 farmers, you know, Honorable, that through your leadership, the province was given an increment of 10,476 farmers as an upward figure. So the current allocation for the province stands at 7,684 farmers in the province.
United Capital Fertilizer Zambia Company Limited Board Chairperson is confident that the fertilizer will be distributed and delivered as per schedule.
We are very confident the way you organize things should be able to deliver all the fertilizers that are required for this province as agreed, as per schedule. And indeed, it's up to you to guide us where you'd like the fertilizers to go as quickly as possible before the rains.
Mulimas Tumbeko, Zanis News in Mongo District.
Still in agriculture news, Minister of Agriculture Mtolo Piri says the agriculture sector is critical to the country's economic transformation agenda. Mr. Piri, who attended the Golden Valley Agriculture Research Trust GART Seed Fair, says government wants to promote and sustain economic growth and job creation through the sector. Daniel Billy covered the event.
This is a key driver towards the sustainable agricultural agenda through increased use of climate change resilient technologies. It is the reason Golden Valley Agricultural Research Trust has held a seed fair to be a platform for direct exchange of climate smart information. Agricultural Minister Ruben Mutolopiri officiated at the seed fair.
The agriculture sector is very critical to the New Dawn's government economic transformation agenda. Through the contributions of the agriculture sector, government intends to promote and sustain economic growth, job creation, and prosperity among the majority of the people in Zambia. For decades, agriculture in Zambia has been characterized by low productivity and production, as well as poor agricultural support services. It is against this background that government has embarked on formulating a comprehensive agriculture support program. The implementation of the program will ensure not only increased production and productivity, but also value addition through agro-processing and manufacturing for both local and export markets.
Central Province Minister Credo Nanjua is happy to have Golden Valley Agricultural Research Trust in his province.
New Dawn government is focused on improving agriculture by promoting value addition. Ladies and gentlemen, as a nation, value addition will make a lot more sense if we become food secure by encouraging all farmers to adopt improved seed varieties that are climate resilient and will increase the crop output.
Greenfield Commodities Chief Executive Officer Jacob Chisenga spoke on behalf of other exhibitors.
I'm here to say this year's seed fair gives us the opportunity, not only Greenfields, but including our fellow exhibitors, to encourage farmers that have come here to showcase various products that they are giving, and also to get the knowledge, like our director has just indicated, that it's the sharing of the word about the farming, about the season that has started now.
Daniel Billy for Zanis News in Chivombo District, Central Province.
In Eastern Province, World Vision Zambia has handed over birth certificate production equipment worth over 50,000 kwacha to the Department of National Registration, Passport and Citizenship in Katete District. Provincial Permanent Secretary Paul Tole received the equipment on behalf of the department. Here's a report.
Residents of Katete District will no longer have to travel to Chipata for birth certificates for their children. This is because the Department of National Registration, Passport and Citizenship in Katete District has been empowered with birth certificates production equipment by World Vision Zambia worth more than 50,000 kwacha. The equipment was received by Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tole, who was represented by Assistant Secretary Clement Chilembo at a ceremony in Chipata.
Birth registration forms a permanent and official record of a child's existence. It is actually a right, as already alluded to, for every child to be registered, and birth registration, therefore, serves as a proof of identity in our country. The provision of birth certificates, ladies and gentlemen, will also help in the fight against early marriages, since it will help in offering tangible proof of real birth history to all relevant stakeholders in the country.
World Vision Zambia is happy to be associated with this donation.
World Vision Zambia will continue to work with the government of Zambia to children's safety and an enabling environment where rights and responsibilities are realized, but also not forgetting the Department of Birth and Registration. We will need to do more in creating awareness in the communities so that parents can understand and appreciate the importance of a birth certificate. We now need to have each child registered and issued with a birth certificate for us to win the fight against child abuse and other forms of violations.
And the Department of National Registration, Passport and Citizenship feels the gesture is not only timely, but will help ensure children acquire identity documents without difficulty.
You may wish to note that the coverage of birth registration in this country is very low. According to statistics, the Zambia Demographic Health Survey, the coverage is at about 14.3%. And when you look at the period between 2016 and 2019, out of the estimated 2,758,598 children, only 421,908 were registered, representing 13%. The urban areas have got a higher coverage than the rural areas. For example, in 2019, Copperbelt Province had an annual coverage of 49.1%, whilst Eastern Province was among the lowest at 5.3%.
Sylvester Chimba for Zanis in Chipata District, Eastern Province.
In health news, over 100 people with visual challenges in Kapirimposhi district have undergone sight restorative surgery. The operations were conducted by Kitwe Eye Teaching Hospital during the 7-day eye surgery outreach services at Kapirimposhi District Hospital. We have Carlos Wunda with the story.
Seeing someone visually impaired or even on the verge of blindness getting their sight restored is quite a life-changing moment. The relief and even shock that overcomes them is an eye-opening experience.
Nangu pale moneka katushitushumula nduwafironda shirapolerera umona kwala njafwa ukulabo mbenchito bantu ulunsha kwetameso nshale bombana ikerefie
ngadi bompeshe kono muti wachibemba nakadia na afiru akofieri na suka penatawe kande afe kuchipatala chiechika fuivishiko.
This is what has characterized the eye surgical services exercise brought near to those with visual challenges in Kapirimposhi district, courtesy of the Kitwe Eye Teaching Hospital.
We're seeing quite a number of cases, but the most common so far that we've seen is cataracts, age-related cataracts. Okay. In the pediatric age group, we are seeing a lot of allergies, plus other conditions. Also in the elderly, like you're seeing trachoma. We're seeing a lot of conjunctivitis, corneal ulcer. We are managing them. So for those that we found with cataracts, we are actually operating on them.
Over 100 patients will be operated on in a week-long sight restoration exercise.
We are currently not offering ophthalmology services at the hospital. So this is a huge relief both on our parts and on the patients and the community at large. In that, one, it cuts on the costs of them having to travel to Kabwe.
Carlos Wunda, Zanis, Kapirimposhi.
In Western Province, the Zambian National Building Society has completed the construction of 2 classroom blocks, which have stalled at Ilute Primary School in Mongo District. The 2 structures were initially constructed under the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Take a look at this report.
Government says it appreciates profit-making entities operating in the country with a view of plowing back to communities where they are working from as appreciation for their source of income generation. Speaking through Livestock and Fisheries Minister Makozo Chikote, President Hakainde Hichilema has hailed the Zambia National Building Society for efforts being made in uplifting the learning standards and environment at Ilute Primary School in Mongo.
The Zambia National Building Society, I salute you because I was just trying to reflect that before what you have done, what was the picture of this school? What was the condition of our pupils here? And indeed, the permanent secretary has testified here that he is a witness. At one point he came here, he found pupils sitting, not on the floor, but on sand, which is not a good environment for our pupils. It's not a good environment for even our teachers to deliver services, to deliver quality education.
And ZNBS Managing Director Mildred Mutesa says her financial institution values education and hence offering support to the sector.
As part of our corporate social responsibility, this year we noted the inconducive learning environment for the pupils at Ilute Primary School. It was sad to note that the pupils were learning in classrooms that had no windows, no floors, no plaster, and with only 70 desks to cater for a population of 2,500 pupils.
Ilute Primary School head teacher Lefson Tembo applauded ZNBS and made appeals for the growing population of the school.
Honorable Minister, the school requests 10 more classrooms to cater for the growing enrollment. Currently, we are using only 7 classrooms for the 2,454 pupils. The school requests for at least 20 toilets. Currently, there are only 6 toilets. The school requests for 673 desks. We also request for electricity from the main grid ZESCO.
Ilute Primary School has learners from early childhood education to grade 7, and before the introduction of free education by the new Dong administration, the school had 1,691 pupils, while this time the number has risen to 2,454. Reporting for Zanis, I am Ikacha Nasindala in Mongu, Western Province.
Now, Chamber Member of Parliament Cliff Mpundu has expressed worry on the continued vandalism of developmental projects under construction in the district. Michelo Mwemba now reports.
Chamber Member of Parliament Cliff Mpundu has bemoaned the current state of the projects under construction at the new township that have continued to be vandalized, reducing their completion rate to about 65% from 85%.
The government is doing something about this. They have got keen interest. They have already done the valuation, the audit, and they are at procurement stage to come and reinforce the remaining works. It is unfortunate that we can have this before these roofing sheets are also removed. It's important that the solution is found as quickly as possible from our security wing.
What to
DJOC, yes.
Yes. And they said first they would start with the patrols.
Okay.
But I don't know how often they do their patrols here. So if we had maybe order nearby, anyone can afford it. Because even the officers to be here without the order, I think they can't, not really help.
Mr. Mpundu also inspected Chamber Boarding School under construction. He later visited Kasanga Health Facility, where 4 solar panel batteries were stolen by unknown people.
Experiencing these thefts from health facilities in Kundamfumu, mattresses were stolen at the clinic. Now they have stolen here. Now you can imagine the situation. I would appreciate the district management of health with immediate effect to make sure that they engage security guards.
Michelo Mwemba, Zanis, in Chembe District, Luapula Province.
Care International, with financial support from the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has handed over a solar-powered water facility to Mwense Town Council in Luapula Province. Director of Operations Henry Longo represented the United Nations Country Director Chikwe Mbwenda during the handover ceremony. Lewis Changwe has details in this report.
The introduction of free education has seen an increase in the number of pupils in schools, resulting in high demand for water and sanitation facilities. Government, however, is aware of such challenges and has already started addressing the issue with the help from cooperating partners.
The higher demand for water and sanitation in schools is one such challenge, and therefore we as a government are grateful to KFW, UNICEF and CARE for spearheading this project that has led schools, health facilities and the local communities in the 100 villages that CARE is working in access to clean water.
CARE International Country Director Chikwe Mbwenda was represented by the Director of Programs Henry Longo at the handover ceremony.
I am proud to say that we trained 5 pump mechanics, 10 wash committee members as custodians to manage the water scheme, and over 1,200 water point committee members to manage the water points, and further oriented and trained 20 pump minders in operation and maintenance of the new and rehabilitated boreholes and water systems.
UNICEF was also represented.
So everyone has to pay every month. We really need to have enough to maintain it, and that has to be a habit every month.
The beneficiaries are grateful for the gesture.
We would wish to assure you, sir, and the CARE company
which installed this water, that we shall not allow any form of vandalism to this project.
Lewis Changwe, Zanis, Mwense.
In business news, the Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Chipoka Mulenga, has urged manufacturers to take advantage of the conducive environment being created by government and produce more for local consumption and export. Mr. Mulenga said this when he officiated at the Local Content Conference organized by the Zambia Association of Manufacturers in partnership with his ministry. Details in this report.
Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry Chipoka Mulenga has challenged manufacturers of goods and services to take advantage of the conducive business environment being created by government and produce more for the local market. Mr. Mulenga said government is working hard to implement policies that support the growth of the manufacturing industry. He stressed that there is need to encourage Zambians to consume and use local products as per Proudly Zambian campaigns. The minister said this when he officiated at the Local Content Conference organized by the Zambia Association of Manufacturers in partnership with the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry.
We produce 470,000 metric tons and we export half of it. And for the remaining 200,000, 150,000 is illicitly exported. Only 50,000 remains in the country to produce our cooking oil. But Zambia needs 1 million metric tons. Colleagues, we can't keep pointing fingers at each other. A time has come when we work together to produce more. More not only for Zambia, but for the region as well.
And speaking earlier, Zambia Association of Manufacturers president said the locally produced products are of good quality and they can compete with foreign goods.
It exists that Zambia and Zambian goods are not good enough. But I assure you, sir, that when you look, you and your government look, when even you walk around and see some of our products, you will notice that they are of high quality, and we continue to create, we continue to develop these products so they are competing in the region.
The conference has brought together players in the manufacturing sector with a view to create linkages and share ideas on how best they market their products and promote the Proudly Zambian concept. For Zanis, I'm Lakson.
And as we end the news, traditional leaders in Muchinga province have urged Zambians to treasure the freedom and peace the forefathers fought for during the independence struggle. Zambia will on October 24th, 2022, celebrate its 58th independence anniversary under the theme Zambia at 58, promoting inclusiveness towards a sustainable social and economic recovery.
The economy of Zambia has gone through notable progress since the country gained its independence. Traditional leaders from Muchinga province talk with passion as they urge Zambians to embrace the freedom that we enjoy today, that our forefathers fought for. People were mistreated, while others died for Zambia to be free. Chief Nkweto of Chinsali district says blood was shed for Zambia to gain independence. As such, 24th October is a very important day in the history of Zambia.
Tachatalira chichitikapo ichakulanda okuti kwacha kutitwala ichitakompea nama currency akulaya linga dola na yambi ama pound nompapalile lwefifire chitika icho nabaletere mauti pate bene bali chitire chisuma bantu mukuchinjanya kwa kuteka potu ama pati zale kanalekana kulele ngobuya ntanshu kula chinja nokula kulira kono kulaira pabuyo.
You say it's not easy. You should not take things for granted. People lost their lives over independence, so you should take it seriously. To attain it, independence was not an easy thing. So, girls and boys, be careful. You shouldn't take life for granted.
Because people of Kachivia this time, they are very happy, and I'm sure they are going to celebrate with the respect or with care, so to say. In the rural areas, people, they still have that respect for the heroes. So I can assure you that they are going to celebrate it with respect and order.
Mwamfushi resident Patrick Chanda, however, feels that the country needs to go back to a place where industries were operational and most goods such as bicycles were manufactured in Zambia.
Vampera ukuchiniweka putao ishiro chako fila vampere pobo mwenja vapangireshana injinga vampera ketinjishi vaipangireshana kandi ifyafyo kana vesefe mdirishana yako bantu mwananga wamulanga omusunga akala nomusunga fyose.
This year's independence theme is Zambia at 58. Promoting inclusiveness towards sustainable social and economic recovery. Peggy Gutinyu for Zanis in Mpika, Muchinga Province.
As we end the news, the headlines once again. Distribution of fertilizer starts in Mongo. Over 100 people undergo site restoration. And Chamber lawmaker bemoans vandalism on development projects. Well, that's all we had for you on Zanis News. Pleasant viewing and have a nice day. My name is Chishamtale.